Blakinola. I'm pretty sure it's Blakinola, because there's the... Wait, actually, timeouts, never mind. There are certain words in the English language, in which case the I could be replaced with an I or an E, so it actually could be an E as well. It might be like Blake. So it could be Blakinola instead. In which case, the la part, it could be like Spanish or something, it could be la. In which case, if it's Blake, then it's Blakinola, which actually sounds like it could be very accurate and actually true. That does look like the face of a Blake man, if I do say so myself. Something about that name makes me feel like I should be giving you a rundown of sorts, a short version even, if you will. But that's not exactly sure in the case here. But nonetheless, I'm pretty sure it's Blakinola, or Blakinola, as a matter of fact. Now, moving on to this next one, Markiplier. Now we just went over this in the very last name, in which case the I is probably be surrendered for a Y or E as well. So it could be, well, hold on a second, because there is an R in the middle of it. It's not like make with an R in the middle of it, because I would just make it Mark. In which case that actually makes a bunch of sense. It could be Mark. Markiplier. In which case it's like a lying Pokemon. That one Pokemon, I can't pronounce the name right now, because I don't want to get sued for copyright. But nonetheless, that's one Pokemon. So his name is literally a lying Pokemon. Lying, I do not condone lying in this house. If I had other people in this house to not condone it too, but I'm alone in my laboratory. That's why I've came up with this idea, because I have nothing better to do right now. Don't judge me, of course. So that's exactly what you're going to do, is judge me, because that's what everybody does, is judge me. And it's fine, it's whatever, I probably deserve it. Actually, I probably don't, but I won't defend myself, whatever, fine. Jaiden forget that part. We're just gonna say it's anime. It's definitely it's anime, and because it's anime, the anime makes the E say its name. So it's Dean, and it's Jaiden, and it's Jai. It has to be Jai, because it's like Kai from Beyblade, or Might Guy, or Kai from Beyblade. I don't know. I watch the English dubs of stuff. I'm a dirty English dub watching person. Again, we're already judging me anyway. Might as well just air it all out. Whatever. Now this next one kind of confuses me a little bit, because League can definitely be a very toxic game. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not even going to defend it, condone it, anything like that. But obviously, there are some very toxic people in the chat. But of all the words I've seen typoed in a fit of rage, I don't think I've ever seen anybody typo KYS before. Oh. Well, it's not a typo of KYS, that's supposed to be like that, so it's Sky. SKY-WILL-I-AMS. Yes, I'm a dirty Black Eyed Peas fan as well. I'm an English dub watching Black Eyed Peas, listening to Alone in This Laboratory person. That's fine, whatever. But that's interesting. He named himself Sky, kind of like the planet Earth, how it's named Earth. You've literally named your planet Planet Dirt. Oh, so it's like those duos you get in solo queue, where it's like her sky and his earth. Oh, it makes it's beautiful, except it's not. It's terrible. I don't like it. It makes me sick a little bit, like a bad batch of sweet milk. This one I'm going to get right for sure. It looks like it's pretty straightforward. Ready? Here we go. JACK-EYE-SEPTIC. Boom. Got it. As if I didn't get it, I did exactly the mistake I didn't want to do, and I made sure not to do when I did this in rehearsal a bunch of times. I read it one way, but I pronounced it another way for some reason. It happens every time. It's actually pretty tragic on my part only, of course, as I'm the only one doing it. JACK-EYE-SEPTIC. That's not correct. It's right there. It's JACK-SEP-TICE-YE. There we go. Now we got it right. Because obviously, the word ice is somewhere in there. See, it's right there at the end. So it's the word ice with a T in front of it, so it's like tice. Like mice, but it's not, because it's a T, so it's mice. It's tice. JACK-SEP-TICE, and then ye, because that's how the English language must work. So that's all that's left over to say. We can't really go any further than that. I'm sorry if you're disappointed in that outcome, but that's how the English language is. It's not that confusing. So pointing to this video, I'm showing you in this video that the English language is not as confusing as people try and make it out to be. They just overcomplicate things, and I'm just simplifying it for you. Here we go. Next person. Puh-Hill-Lup-DEF-Ranco, 2988, coming soon to Toonami. Yes, I'm a I'm a dirty English dub watching Black Eyed Peas, listening to Toonami, only anime introduction to person. It's whatever. This laboratory is very isolated. I'm lucky that I get Cartoon Network at all, okay? Whatever, fine. But nonetheless, that's a very straightforward name. I like this name too, because it's Boo-GA and the 2988. It rolls off the tongue. You know, if you could see my tongue, but I have a robot face, so it's whatever. But nonetheless, it kind of actually reminds me, speaking of Toonami a little bit, it kind of reminds me of the pronunciation for Vegeta. And that must be the secret right there. Vegeta isn't off abandoning Bull Moose or whatever his wife's name is. He's actually running a successful YouTube channel instead of off training all the time. Very clever. Very clever. I'm impressed. Good job, Vegeta. 2988. Puh-Hill-Lup-DEF-Ranco. So it's like a Rancor from Star Wars, but like Def, so like Def Jam. It's a rapping Rancor from Star Wars, but like in human form. Maybe he can morph. That's perfectly fine as well. And as we know, the 7th movie was obviously a remake of the 4th movie. So the Rancor wasn't in till episode 6. So this guy will definitely make a comeback, a resurgence, if you will, in episode 9. I actually do not know if he needs to make a resurgence. He might actually be doing perfectly fine. It's whatever. I just know I didn't really like the Rancor myself personally, but this guy looks better than a Rancor, so there's that. Obviously the bar wasn't that hard to beat, but I wear a mental mask. I can't judge anybody based off of appearances. As if I totally could. I'm just not going to, because it just seems wrong, and I have better things to do, like nothing. BAD-MINI-STRAT-OH-R. Now, I like this name because it's pretty straightforward as well. I keep saying that because I'm trying to show you the English language is pretty straightforward. It's just BAD-MINI-STRAT-OH-R. You sound it out. That's how you sound it out, right? Except that I just realized upon saying this again for another time, it's administrator, but with a B in front of it. Administrator B in front. Which means it's not OR, it's OR, like door or shore. Oh, okay, so in that case, it's BAD-MINISTRATOR. I should have known that one. That's the guy that makes the raps. It's the pretty good raps too, as a matter of fact. You might want to go check that guy out. You might want to check out all of these people that I'm mentioning, because I have their names for reasons, of course. To pronounce their names to do this video. Yeah, there we go. Guilty as charged. Stefanos Rex. Something about that name really resonates. I like that name. That channel, the how to do voice impression videos. Maybe it has some relevance to this video and this impression specifically, but maybe, I just decided I like the name because I like dinosaurs. Who knows? You'll never know. It's a mystery. Don't worry about it. You're reading too deep. JERE-MY-GAMING-CU-RY-OH-OOS. Now, originally looking at this name when I was first going over it, it made sense in an aspect, right? It has gaming in it. I'm from a game. I know how to pronounce game and gaming and all of that stuff. That stuff I would not have problem with. And the reason I'm correct about this pronunciation is because W-E-R-E, and this is J-E-R-E. So it's the same word with a different first letter. So you just pronounce that differently. The rest is the same. JERE-MY-GAMING-CU-RY-OH-OOS. Now that part might trip some people up with the English language, because it has a bunch of confusing vowels all pushed together. We have 5 vowels that are supposed to be spread across the alphabet, and here's a word that throws them all together. It seemed like a jumbled mess, but there he is. CU-RY-OH-OOS, in case you were confused or lost or whatever. It's fine. It happens to us all. I'm still lost in what I'm supposed to be doing with my life, so it's perfectly understandable. Pi-Lol. This one was pretty straightforward. It's just 6 letters, Pi-Lol. The P makes a P sound, and we already established earlier that the Y could also be an I or an E, so it's obviously high, so it's Pi-Lol. Now, of course, because we established earlier that the Y could also be an E, it could be Puh-Hill-Lup, which actually does roll off the tongue a bit easier, so that's obviously a sign that's the correct way to pronounce it. Obviously, there's no really complicated way to pronounce any words. They always roll off the tongue if you're saying it right, so just go with your gut and go with your tongue. GAB-A 1999. I'm pretty sure that stands for 1999. There's no other reason there's a 99 there, unless, which is my hope right here, I'm saying this between you and me, this is what I'm hoping, there was actually 98 versions of him before this 99th version, because he's actually a worthy candidate for the glorious evolution, in which case, if he could collab with me, I could show him the ways to be at the peak of performance, so that by the time he reaches that 100th GAB-A, he will be the final product needed. Battlecast Aurelia, we could call him even. I don't know, maybe not, it's whatever. Prod Z. No, it's not Prod, I did it again. I did it, I read it, in rehearsal I did this just fine, but now I've just, it's Pro-Z-D. Z if you're British, it's Z. In which case, that's a champion I hope not to see back in the meta anytime soon, but probably, knowing my luck, he'll be back in the meta with the new lethality buffs that are coming back in, that are pretty much giving everybody back the lethality they nerfed away before. That's lovely. The Phi-Ray God AI FS. I'm not even going to begin to say why this is the right pronunciation, but this person has too long of a name. He needs to shorten it. It's too long. It needs to be more memorable. It makes it complicated for all parties involved to pronounce it. I don't even like the fact that I said it correctly. I just, ooh, wow, that was an adventure right there. I don't think per person's name should be an adventure. And then FALCON-SHIELD. Go be a Patreon today if you haven't. Go on and subscribe to them as well if you want as well. They make fantastic music, so do a lot of people out there. All of the names I've said on here, they're all different people you probably want to check out if you haven't checked out already. But on top of that, I've now showed you how simple and easy to conquer the English language is. So no longer be afraid of the English language if you are, and go forth with renewed vigor and confidence. I bid you a farewell, good luck, and have fun in your future endeavors with the English language.